Twins always caught attention, but the ones you're about to meet went far beyond fascination. These were the twins the world couldn't look away from, the ones who made audiences gasp, whisper, and sometimes scream. Their lives weren't ordinary. They were strange in ways that felt almost supernatural, the kind of sight that left people speechless and uneasy. These stories aren't gentle, and they're definitely not forgotten. So, get ready for 15 real freak show twins that shocked the world, and believe me, they truly did. Number 15, Rosa and Lazarus, the infant enigma. In 1853, a small French village became the center of a medical mystery. Rosa and Lazarus were born fused at the lower abdomen, one fully formed, the other a smaller, undeveloped twin sharing the same heartbeat. The doctors who arrived from Paris called them a living question mark. Rosa blinked, cried, and moved normally, while Lazarus remained still, his chest faintly rising only when hers did. They became the subject of sketches, studies, and whispered prayers. Priests claimed it was a punishment. Physicians called it proof of divine error. Within months, the twins were transported to Paris for examination, their fragile condition worsening under constant handling. Rosa died in her sleep at barely a year old, and with her final breath, the second body went cold. The case was buried under medical journals, reduced to a drawing labeled Specimen 43. What had once been 2 beating hearts became a single sketch in a forgotten archive drawer. Number 14. Chang and Eng Bunker. They were born in 1811 in Siam. 2 brothers joined at the chest, destined to become the world's first Siamese twins. Chang and Eng Bunker weren't just a curiosity, they were a phenomenon. From the moment they stepped into the freak show circuit, people paid fortunes just to stare. 2 men, 1 body. It was the ultimate human riddle. But behind the fame was a brutal life of control and display. Their managers made more money than they ever did, parading them across continents like prized possessions. Yet somehow, they broke free, bought land in America, and married 2 sisters, fathering 21 children in total. For years, they tried to live normal lives, but the world never stopped labeling them as the twins. When Chang died in his sleep, Eng followed just hours later, not by choice, but by the connection they could never escape. Together in birth, fame, and death, their story began the legend of the freak show twins. Number 13. Millie and Christine McCoy. Crowds didn't know whether to clap or pray when Millie and Christine McCoy walked on stage. 2 voices, 1 body. It looked impossible. Born in 1851, deep in the shadow of slavery, the sisters were conjoined at the lower spine and sold before they could even speak. Managers and owners paraded them from town to town, calling them the 2-headed nightingale. When they sang, the room froze. Harmonies so haunting that people swore it sounded supernatural. Beneath the music, though, was a story of captivity and survival. They were kidnapped, reclaimed, and displayed across continents before they earned their freedom. Instead of hiding, they chose to perform on their own terms, mastering 6 languages and building a life that no master could control. When Christine's heartbeat stopped in 1912, Millie's ended within minutes. Not by tragedy, but by devotion. Their voices are long gone, but their song still echoes through history's darkest tent. Number 12. Lalu and his silent brother. In the crowded fairs of the 19th century, a man from India named Lalu drew gasps wherever he appeared. From the front, he looked like any performer, strong posture, calm eyes, but his back carried the remains of his undeveloped twin. A motionless body fused to him from the chest downward. It had no voice, no pulse, just a limp form that swayed as he walked. The sight unsettled even hardened showmen. Lalu presented himself with quiet pride, refusing pity, introducing the attached figure as "my brother who never left." Surgeons offered to remove it. He declined, saying it was part of who he was. Audiences called him a miracle, scientists called him a mystery, and both were right. His story ended as abruptly as it began, his final years unrecorded, his body never found. Number 11. Masha and Dasha Krivoshlyapova. They didn't belong to a circus, they belonged to science. Born in Moscow in 1950, Masha and Dasha Krivoshlyapova came into the world joined at the waist, sharing one bloodstream and one pair of legs. Doctors saw them not as children, but as a rare opportunity. Separated from their mother immediately after birth, they were locked away in Soviet medical facilities, test subjects for experiments on pain, endurance, and survival. Electrodes, freezing baths, sleep deprivation, everything was measured, logged, and repeated. Their faces told two stories. Masha, fierce and controlling, Dasha, quiet and resigned. Together, they endured decades of tests that would have broken most adults. When the Soviet Union collapsed, their story finally leaked. Two sisters who survived a lifetime of cruelty under the mask of science. They lived long enough to see freedom, but never peace. Masha died in 2003, and Dasha followed within hours, as if her body refused to keep breathing without the one it had always carried. Number 10. Rosa and Josefa Blazek. Long before film or radio, the Blazek twins filled newspapers across Europe. Born in 1878 in Bohemia, Rosa and Josefa were conjoined at the lower spine, sharing one pelvis and a pair of legs. They moved like a single person split in two, Rosa handling the right side, Josefa the left. When they appeared in public, people didn't just stare, they froze. There was something both elegant and eerie about their balance. As teenagers, they joined traveling exhibitions, performing music and posing for photographs that became sensations of their time. Yet behind the stage lights, their lives were heavy with exhaustion and endless travel. They dreamed of quiet lives but were trapped by contracts that treated them as property. When Josefa fell ill, Rosa refused to let doctors attempt separation, choosing death over a life divided. Their story closed in 1922, a graceful tragedy that showed how fame can chain even those born inseparable. Let's turn the page. The next story is where fascination meets fear. Number 9. Ronnie and Donnie Gallion. Every town they rolled into treated them like legends, part miracle, part sideshow ghost. Ronnie and Donnie Gallion were born in Ohio in 1951, joined from the sternum to the pelvis, facing each other with no hope of separation. They shared every major organ below the waist, making them the longest living conjoined twins in recorded history. From their first breath, their lives were public property. Childhood meant crowds, cameras, and curiosity that never stopped coming. They toured carnivals across America, displayed under banners promising the human wonder. But once the lights dimmed, they were just two men trying to share one life. Arguments, laughter, silence, all happening inches apart, forever linked. When they retired, they moved into a specially built house, learning to live quietly for the first time. In 2020, their journey ended the same way it began, side by side, hearts fading within moments of each other, a lifetime spent breathing in sync. Number 8. Ladan and Lale Bijani. They spent their whole lives dreaming of something most people take for granted: space. Ladan and Lale Bijani were born in Iran in 1974, joined at the head, sharing blood vessels and brain tissue. They were intelligent, outspoken, and determined to live separate lives. Each had her own ambitions. Ladan wanted to study law, Lale wanted journalism. For years, they fought for the right to be seen as individuals instead of a single miracle. After decades of persistence, they convinced a team of surgeons in Singapore to attempt the impossible: a full cranial separation. The operation lasted over 50 hours, watched by the world like a live drama of hope against reason. When complications struck, Both sisters died on the table. Their dream of independence ended where it began, together. But their courage rewrote how the world saw conjoined twins, proving that even when fate binds two souls, the human spirit still reaches for freedom. Number 7. Millie and Christine Wallace. They were a mystery even before the posters went up. Millie and Christine Wallace appeared on stages across America in the early 1900s, billed as the Shadow Twins. Born conjoined at the lower back, they faced away from each other. Two torsos joined in reverse, walking in opposite directions like a mirror turned inside out. Crowds didn't know what to feel. Some gasped, others laughed nervously, but no one looked away. Their act was simple: synchronized dancing that looked impossible, haunting in its perfection. What the crowd never saw was the agony behind the curtain, the strain of constant motion, the pain of twisted spines, and the loneliness of being displayed as living curiosities. When the freak shows declined, their fame vanished with the tents. Their final years passed in silence, tucked away in a small boarding house, forgotten by the same world that once couldn't stop staring. Even in death, their names faded into rumor, like a shadow that never found its light. Keep your eyes open. The next twins will make you question what's real and what isn't. Number 6. Abby and Brittany Hensel. Abby and Brittany Hensel were born in 1990, their two heads turning in different directions as one body took its first breath. Doctors expected tragedy. Instead, they watched something extraordinary. The twins share one torso, two spines, and a single bloodstream. Yet each half belongs entirely to its own mind. Growing up in Minnesota, they learned coordination through necessity, not magic. Every step, every gesture, was a silent negotiation between two people who could never walk apart. Media attention followed them for years, cameras flashing like spotlights from a modern circus. But the curiosity eventually faded, replaced by an odd kind of silence. Not privacy, not peace, just distance. They still move together, always in sync. But the world that once stared now looks away, unsure what to feel. Their lives go on quietly, leaving behind the question no one dares ask aloud: what happens when one heartbeat stops first? Number 5. Ronnie and Reggie Kray. They weren't joined by flesh. They were bound by something far stronger. Ronnie and Reggie Kray, born in London in 1933, were identical twins whose connection became legend in the underworld. Charming, ruthless, and impossible to tell apart, they built an empire of fear across London's East End. Their resemblance was their weapon. One twin's crime could vanish under the other's name. They ran nightclubs, mingled with celebrities, and ruled with calculated violence. What terrified people most wasn't what they did, but how inseparable they were while doing it. When one smiled, the other already knew why. When one struck, the other finished the job. Even after their empire crumbled and prison walls divided them, that bond never weakened. Ronnie lost his mind. Reggie lost his reason to live. Decades later, their names still echo through London's alleys, a reminder that not all twins shocked the world through wonder. Some did it through fear. Number 4. Ganga and Jamuna Mondal. The crowd never forgot the way they moved. Ganga and Jamuna Mondal walked side by side, joined at the stomach, their bodies twisted in a rhythm no one else could match. Born in 1970 in West Bengal, they were abandoned at birth and raised inside the harsh glow of a traveling fair. The world called them the Spider Sisters, watching their 4 arms and 3 legs sway like a hypnotic pattern. On stage, they smiled. Off stage, they slept under torn canvas, their lives measured by ticket sales. When the crowds thinned, they didn't fade. They adapted, working odd jobs to survive, still tethered, still together. No one knows exactly when they disappeared from the circuit, only that one day their tent was gone, leaving nothing behind but 2 worn bracelets on a table. The fair moved on, and so did the world, yet the silence that followed felt like it was missing a heartbeat. If you thought that was disturbing, the next one takes it somewhere far darker. Number 3. Lucia and Maria Spina. Old photographs from the 1890s show 2 girls in lace dresses, holding hands as if afraid to let go. Lucia and Maria Spina were born in Venice, joined at the chest by a narrow bridge of bone and skin. Their parents tried to hide them, but word spread fast, and soon curiosity bought its way through the door. The twins were displayed in theaters and fairs across Italy, advertised as the living mirror. Their connection was delicate, their hearts beating inches apart but never in sync. Doctors offered separation, calling it salvation, but their mother refused after one twin's heart nearly stopped during a simple examination. As the years passed, they vanished from public record. Some claimed they escaped the exhibitions and fled to the countryside. Others believed they died during an unrecorded operation. All that remains are 2 faded portraits and a whisper that somewhere in Venice their grave is still marked by a single stone with 2 names. Number 2. Radica and Dudica, the Orissa sisters. When the circus arrived in Paris in 1902, the crowd didn't come for the acrobats or the lions, they came for the sisters from India. Radica and Dudica, born in Orissa in 1889, were conjoined at the lower spine and brought to Europe as children to be displayed as the Orissa twins. Their dark skin, shy smiles, and fragile bond fascinated the Western audience that saw them as exotic wonders. Behind the curtain, their lives were far from glamorous. They were paraded through exhibitions, tested by doctors, and photographed like artifacts of science. Illness followed them constantly, their shared organs making every fever a fight for both. In 1903, Dudica fell sick with tuberculosis. Surgeons attempted separation to save at least 1 life. It failed. Both girls died days apart, buried in foreign soil under a single headstone. The crowd moved on to new marvels, but the sisters never left the stage. They just went quiet. Number 1. Giovanni and Girolamo Battista Tocci. The last time anyone saw Giovanni and Girolamo Tocci alive, they were sitting silently in a carriage, refusing to look at the crowd waiting outside. Born in Italy in 1875, they were conjoined from the waist down. 2 upper bodies, 2 minds, 1 lower half. Their movements were unnerving to watch. One brother guiding the right leg, the other the left, walking in forced cooperation. For years, they toured Europe, their calm, intelligent eyes contrasting the spectacle around them. Audiences called them gentle monsters, unaware of how much the label cut. Then, one day, they vanished. No records, no graves, no explanation, only canceled performances and a trail of false sightings. Some said they retired to the mountains under new names. Others believed one died and the other couldn't bear life alone. What's certain is this: the Tocci twins didn't fade from memory. They dissolved into myth, leaving history with 2 shadows and 1 body unaccounted for. Every story tonight carried 2 heartbeats trapped in 1 fate. Born together, lived together, and remembered together. Their lives weren't sideshow acts. They were chapters the world tried to turn into spectacle. Now the lights have dimmed, the crowds are gone, and what remains is truth, raw, uncomfortable, and unforgettable. If you felt that shiver, that pause that made you see these twins as people instead of legends, then carry that feeling with you. Don't just watch history, question it, talk about it, and make sure it never fades again. Thank you for walking through this strange corner of the past with me. Your time here matters more than you think. It gives voice to those who were once displayed but never truly seen. So, hit subscribe, leave your thoughts below, and stay close.